What up, peoples? It's your man RTP Skull Gang in the building. You know what time it is. Yes, we here. We are here. Welcome. It's Friday. Get everything going. Oh yeah, it's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. We made it. We've made it to the weekend. We are here. I just want to just put this on here real quick. There we go. All right. Sorry. So We are here today because we are going to talk about the game that we've all been waiting for, Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are coming to Tampa to face the Buccaneers. This is a way bigger game. This is a way bigger game than I thought it was going to be when we first looked at this on the schedule for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons. When we first looked at this schedule, I just chalked it up as an L. Said it's an L. It is what it is. Better team, better roster, better quarterback. It's an L. Move along. Now we've started the season. The Bucs are 2-0, which I knew we would probably be able to do that. And the Eagles are coming to town. And it's weird because I felt like we could be 2-0. I knew we could beat those two teams. But now that we've done it and we've seen how we've done it with our quarterback, Baker Mayfield, it kind of feels better than what I thought it would feel, if that makes sense. So I think it is a little bit of that and a little bit of something else. But let me talk real quick about this feeling of Baker Mayfield. So we're hearing a lot of talks now. There's a lot of media stuff going on and talking about Baker Mayfield is better when he's the underdog and he's playing really good football and this and this and that. And first off, shout out to Baker. Appreciate, shout out to Baker. Hand clap for Baker. You're doing your thing. Now, it's turning a little bit into the Baker show. And there's a reason why I'm bringing all this up, just so you guys know. There's a reason why I'm bringing everything's going to connect. It's starting a little bit to turn into the Baker show, like, oh, the Baker, Baker's, is 2-0. No one's really saying that. They're saying the Bucs, but it's turning into like this. Baker's doing this, and we all know that it's our defense and our weapons. And again, Baker's doing his job, and he's doing a good job. So I've been keeping my eye on that. I've been listening to that, keeping my eye on that. Okay. And as I said, even for myself, it feels a little better than what I thought it was going to feel like, right? I knew we could win those two games, but I thought we would basically what we did week 1, I thought we would do week 2 as well. Like, we leaned heavily on the defense, and the offense was kind of sputtering in week 1. But then even at the end of the second quarter and the second half, the offense looked pretty good, and that was impressive for me. I said it before after that game, and I'll say it again. That week 1 win was a very, very great, a very good win. Not only because of the team competition who we were competing against, but in the fashion that we won that game, the offense keeping the ball away from the other team and ending it. It was a very good win, and it was a very, very impressive win. Week 2 comes, and it was more of a, just like week 1 was a, all-around team win, so was week 2, except for there was no stuttering with the offense. It was offense did their job, defense did their job, special teams did. Everybody kind of did their jobs. So it was another good win. It was impressive because everybody was clicking. Everybody was doing Everybody was doing work. And again, the offense felt a little bit better than I expected. It felt better. Now, it isn't like I'm sitting back here and feeling like, well, Baker is a better quarterback than I thought. That's not what's happening. Baker looks like the quarterback I thought. Like he's not impressing me in that way where I'm like, oh man, maybe we got, maybe we should sign it. Like I'm not impressed like that. I'm just impressed on how it's clicking and how smoothly it's going. Not only that, but there has been a few plays where I'm like, wow, he really got the ball out quick. Oh, he saw that. Impressive. Cool. That's good. The whole not taking sacks, running people over. We already knew that was that's Baker's stuff. That's what we knew we were getting extra from Baker. That was one of the positives that we already knew we were going to get from Baker being at the quarterback position. But some of the throws, some of the quick decisions that he's been making, some of the stuff where it's like, okay, he did that. He threw that. Okay, nice. Is nice to see, and I think that's what's making me feel like, okay, the offense is it's striking a little bit more than I thought it would with Baker, so that's good to see. And then, as the 2 weeks go by, I've watched the Eagles because I've been keeping my eye on them because I knew that was one of the biggest games we're going to play coming up soon. And the Eagles have seemed very beatable. Very beatable. Not the team, Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts has a bad game, the team ain't doing nothing, right? Unless they just run down your throat like they did with the Vikings. I don't think that's going to happen with us. So I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts looks really beatable. So I'm like, wow, you know what? We might actually have a chance to win this game. I'm not looking at this game anymore like, well, it's just a measuring stick. I know we're gonna lose. Let's just see how good we, measure up to them. I don't look at the game like that no more. Now I'm looking at them like, we might just take this game. We might actually be a better team right now than that team is right now. Now, there's a lot of things, man. I've played this game in my head over and over and over and over. Hold on, I don't know why this stupid song comes on so much, and I can't stand it. All these words. I need instrumentals. Sorry. But I keep playing this game over and over in my head. And I've got a lot of outcomes. I got, we can whip the Eagles. We can whip them. We can win by a close game. They could win by a close game. They could whip us. I can see it going anyway. This game could go anyway, and I see it. I can see the vision of all of them happening. So this game is as much as in the air as it could possibly be in my mind. But let's go over the 3 keys that we really got to focus on when it comes to this game. Okay? Number 3. Start with number 3. Week 1, we played really good football. Didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. Hardly any penalties. I think we had like 2 penalties. Week 2, a little bit more penalties. Had a blocked kick. Fumbled the ball. We recovered it, but we fumbled it. We have to play like week 1. Okay? Mistake-free. We have to be as mistake-free as possible. And I'm not talking about turnovers. A lot of people always, especially when you guys, go on YouTube and you look at people that talk about the games and the previews, and they're so robotic and so like, they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to football. They give you the same we gotta do this and no turnovers, and it's the same old crap. Listen, This is football. It's a sport, okay? Talking to you like someone that's played a sport before. This is football. The other team gets paid to cause problems. That's a good team. We're a good team. We're paid to take the ball away from them. They're paid to take the ball away from us. It's football. Interceptions happen. Fumbles happen. So what I'm talking about is mistakes, penalties, pre-snap penalties, after the whistle penalties, stuff like that that puts us behind the chain. We have to put as minimum of as possible as far as this hill that we have to climb, that is the Eagles. We have to put as minimum as possible of more on top of that hill. We already have a hill that we got to climb. So let's not shoot ourselves in the foot. Let's not get penalties, holding, bring us back, kill our drives, false starts, make the drive harder. Let's not make a hill out of a mole, as they like to say, right? Let's not make it harder for us as this game goes. So that's number 3. We have to play as penalty free as possible and just not shoot ourselves in the foot. Once again, Baker, listen to me. I've said it with plenty of my quarterbacks, and I've always meant it. I don't care about interceptions. I'm not he threw an interception. I don't care. If you threw it down the field and it's an interception, all right, it's like a punt. I don't care. You took a shot. It is what it is. I don't care about that. That doesn't kill the game for us. I don't care if we throw 2 interceptions and we don't get 1 turnover. That doesn't mean we lost the game. All those stats and analytics and all that crap, throw that stuff. That's not football. It's really not. It's really not football. Okay? The name of the game is score. Don't let the other team score. Now, as long as you're not throwing an interception while you're in your red zone and you could have got points, and now you're not getting no points, or you're throwing an interception while we're backed up and now they're getting the ball and they already got points now on the board, basically, as long as it's not that, I don't care. Throw it down the field, try to make a play. I'm fine with it, right? Running with the ball, boom, they punch it out. It's football. It happens. They're going to be feisty. They know what this game means. Trust me. The media and everybody might be looking at us like, oh, it's the Bucs. I guarantee you they're not looking at us like that. We've been their bugaboo. The last couple times we've been playing, we've smacked them up. They haven't forgot. Trust me, they've been waiting for the get back. So they're definitely not looking at us like, oh, it's just the Bucs. They're going to be feisty. They're going to be trying to punch it out and all kind of stuff. It's a Monday night game. They know they haven't been playing the type of ball they want to be playing. They're going to try to take it out on us. So they want it just as bad as we want it. With that said, there is so many signs. And so this game has built itself up so much with the Rondé Barber. I don't know if you guys have seen the prototype of Rondé Barber that they put on the Buccaneers YouTube channel. It's a video basically about him and his Hall of Fame career and what he meant for the Bucs. They talk about the Eagles a lot. We're going to be honoring Rondé Monday night in the stadium. Everything has become Buccaneers, Eagles. Everything has become that. This coming up to this game. And this is a rival. Buc fans, we know. It's a rival. Okay? Plain and simple. They used to be our bugaboo. We needed to get over the hump with them. We did it. Lately, we've been their bugaboo. It just is what it is. Put a pin in that. Let's continue. Key 3, play penalty free. Don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Key to victory number 2, trenches. Plain and simple. This is the key to the game going any way the game could possibly go. And I already told you guys, I could see us blowing them out. And when I say blowing out, I mean like us winning convincingly by like two possessions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that being possible. Us having two possessions on them and we still got the ball and we kill the clock and this game over. That's possible. It is. Believe me, it's possible. I could see this game going, us winning by one possession or kicking a field goal, game-winning field goal. I could see us losing by a field goal. I could see us losing by one possession. I could see us losing by two possessions, them whipping us. This game can go any type of way. I said that earlier. And the trenches is what's going to make that happen. Whatever happens in the trenches is what's going to cause the game to go the way the game's going to go. I do not know what's going to happen in the trenches. And I mean offense, defense, the trenches. I have no clue. This is going to give me more understanding about my team. I've talked about this in other live streams. We've talked about this. This is going to answer more questions about our O-line, about our D-line. Not really our D-line, but but even a little bit about the D-line. It's going to answer some questions. We cannot get dominated. We just can't. We can't get dominated. They really can't dominate us when they're running the ball. That cannot happen. If they dominate the line while they're trying to run the ball on us, we're not winning that game. We don't got a chance. They'll control the game. They will control the game. We can't let that happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think they'll be able to run here and there, but I don't think they'll be able to lean on that the way they did with the Vikings game. I don't think they'll be able to do that. But we can't get dominated when they're trying to run the ball. We cannot get dominated when they try to pass the ball. I don't think they'll do that either. Especially if we just send 4, I think we better start blitzing and give a little bit of pressure. Now, I'm not 100% sure of what Todd Bowles wants to do. We did not pressure Justin Fields at all. It was almost like Bowles knew if we don't send blitzes and we just send a whole bunch of traffic and just make everybody else fall into coverage, it's going to make Justin Fields hesitate to throw the ball, and he's just going to sit there not knowing what to do, and then we'll get him. Slowly but surely we'll get him. That was the game plan for Justin Fields. I don't know if that's the same game plan for Jalen Hurts. I don't think so. I think Jalen Hurts is a little bit smarter, a little bit quicker to hit some open receivers. I have a feeling we're going to have to blitz and speed up that clock just a little bit, just to get him rattled, just to get him in the mindset of running. But we'll see. But Todd Bowles has, I believe, where did I hear it from? I heard it on an Eagles podcast, somewhere on YouTube, on one of these Eagles podcasts, talk about how Todd Bowles was talking about how Hurts doesn't like to go to his left, I think it was. So Todd Bowles sent all his D-line to always go to the right to force him to go left. Something like that. One of those, either left or right, one of those. So I don't know if that's still a thing, but from what they were saying was, and I've heard this before I heard it here in their podcast, Todd Bowles had something on Hurts that he saw and he noticed, and that's why Hurts doesn't look good against us. He's seen it. So did Hurts get better? Is he still the same quarterback? Will that same game plan work? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But what I do know is we cannot get dominated in the trenches. Now, we talked about pass rush, right? Our pass rush against their O-line, our run stuffing against their O-line. I do think we'll be good at that. I think we'll be decent with that. What about reverse? Their D-line against us. Do I expect us to run the ball on them? Honestly, I do. I think we're going to have a Vikings type of run game, where we're not going to be gashing them, But because we're running the ball, we end up in like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. We stay in short yardage because we're getting 3-4 yards a carry. Sloppy carries, but we're getting 3-4 yards a carry. I've seen it. It's possible to run on them. And that's not to say that they don't have a good D-line. It's that they're always rushing. I've noticed that D-line doesn't pay too much attention to the run. They try to get the quarterback. First down, second down, third down, they're trying to get that quarterback. So they are very acceptable to the run, where we can slide past them, where they're like, oh shoot, they ran it, and then they mess up, and then they go stop it. You know what I'm saying? So it is possible, and I do think we're gonna be able to run a little bit on them. Now, this game is going to feel scary. So it's going to be interesting. Again, we're going to get a lot of answers. We're going to get a lot of answers about our team. We're going to see some answers from Dave Canellis. Does he feel pressure to stop running the ball, start throwing it a little bit more? Does he stick with the game plan? Does he waver? You know what I'm saying? We'll see a little bit more about Dave Canellis and what he thinks. One part I am worried about is their D-line pass rushing us. That is one part that I am nervous about. And that is why I am really hoping that we are able to run the ball a little bit at least. Because if we get into a situation where they just get to tee off because they know if we just got to pass it, maybe we're behind, or maybe we're just not able to run and we just give up on the run. They're like, oh, they gave up on the run. I hope we don't end up in neither of those situations, because it's going to be such a bigger hill to climb. Now, this goes the other way as well. If Kalijah Kancey was playing in this game, which I don't think he is, he hasn't practiced, I would honestly go as far as saying our D-line is just as scary as theirs. I would honestly say that. And yeah, I know they got the names and all that stuff. Jotron has been coming on. Shaq Barrett is Shaq Barrett. Vita Vea is as deadly as anything up the middle. Logan Hall has been doing his thing, and he's a handful. Okay. Mike Green, good pass rusher. But the rotation that we have is going to keep their O-line busy. It's going to keep their O-line busy. You got Cam Gill, the speedster. Their tackles are going to be busy with the speedster. You got Anthony Nelson. He's not great at anything, but he's good at everything. Little bit of speed, little bit of power, good toolbox. You got Yaya, another handful. You got William Golston, another problem in the middle. You got Greg Gaines, another monster in the middle. We got plenty of defensive linemen to keep that O-line busy. So they're not going to get any rest. And that's what the Eagles do. They got a nice rotation, doesn't let the O-line take any breaks. We got a nice rotation. This is something that a lot of teams don't have. A lot of teams sleep on rotation. And we rotate a lot, and they all got sacking capabilities. They all are going to get a chance, and they're all going to keep that offensive line working. So, as much as I'm worried about their pass rush, because I don't know about my O-line yet. I don't know how confident. They played good. I don't know how confident I can be in that O-line. We'll find out Monday. We'll see what their D-line brings. We'll see where we stack up there. And vice versa, our D-line and their O-line. But that's number 2 key to victory. The trenches. We cannot be dominated in the trenches. We have to be able to compete. I do not doubt that we're going to see a series where their O-line or their D-line may look dominant. That's okay. But on the next series, our D-line or our O-line better look dominating. As long as we're going back and forth, and as long as we compete, That's all I care about. Obviously, if we dominate through the whole game, I'll love it. But we just can't be dominated. So that's number 2. Number 1 is this. Baker Mayfield. This is the number 1 thing for me. Baker Mayfield. I've said it. This game is a big game. It's a big game. Monday night, 2 teams are 2-0. One's being looked at like they're legit. The other one's being looked at like we don't believe you. But we're starting to think, what if? It's a big game. This can't be. You got Jalen Hurts looking a little iffy. You got Baker Mayfield proving doubters wrong, starting to get some hype. We got to let it go, Baker. We got to let it go. Do not buy into the hype. This isn't about you, Baker. It's not. Don't sit here and think this is my chance Monday night. Bright lights, the camera's on us, everybody's watching us, because trust me, no one's watching that other Monday night game. It's going to be us, believe me. NFC East team, and it's the Eagles, who went to the Super Bowl last year, who they're expecting to be going to the Super Bowl again, either them or Dallas. Trust me, all them Dallas fans, all them NFC East fans, everybody's tuning in to watch our game. It's us. I don't want Baker to go out there and think, this is my opportunity to show. It's not. Your opportunity is to do what we've been doing. Play within the playbook. Use the weapons the way they're meant to be used. And let's play the way we're supposed to play and let the chips fall where they may. That's what we have to do. Let the chips fall where they may. Let our team go. Let their team go. We cannot hesitate. We cannot pause. We cannot flinch. We have to go forward with our game plan and not flinch and just keep going forward and keep moving forward. And when the clock hits 0-0-0, let's just see where we're at. You ever seen those old school like war movies where the soldiers are just like 5 rows in a line and they're like just marching forward and the other armies like shooting at them and guys from the sides are just dropping like flies, getting hit in the head with bullets and cannons and stuff, and they're just still marching forward like marching forward, trying to just stay brave and march forward, and the guy like looks, oh shoot, he got shot, and he just keeps looking forward. That's what we have to do. No matter what happens, if a fumble happens, if a penalty happens, if an interception happens, don't panic. Keep with the game plan. Stay looking forward. Do your job. That is it. And wherever we end up at the end is where we end up at the end. Leave it to Dave Canellis to tell us, hey, let's speed up, or hey, let's get going, or whatever. You don't show no panic. Don't show no, hey, come on, man, we got to get something going. Don't worry about that. You do what you're there to do. Be the quarterback and be the point guard. Don't come into Monday night trying to be the franchise quarterback. Come into Monday night to be what you've been the first 2 weeks, the point guard. I honestly think these 2 teams are pretty evenly matched. The one thing that I give them is their O-line. I know what their O-line is, and their O-line's no joke. But their weakness right now is their secondary. 1, they're hurt. 2, even if they wasn't hurt, again, we got Mike and we got Chris. I don't care who you are. Can't nobody handle these guys. Period. I don't care. I out of all the game tapes that I've watched, I've never seen them get handled. Not both of them. Not in the same game. If one gets handled, the other one's open all the time. Plain and simple. I've never seen a film or game tape where I'm like, yeah, man, I mean, there was nowhere to go with the ball. Never. Not with those two guys on the field at the same time. So be the point guard and get it to one of these guys. Get it to one of these guys. Stick with the run. If we're getting 3, 4, 5 yards here and there, stick with the run. Dave, stay focused. If we can do that, what was 3? 3 was not shoot ourselves in the foot. 2 was try as much as possible to dominate in the trenches. Just don't get dominated, period. And number 1 was basically Baker. We don't need a franchise quarterback, Baker. Or Baker trying to be a franchise quarterback, trying to look good for the cameras, trying to redeem his career in front of millions of people watching in one night. We don't need that. We just need you to be what you've been for us, the point guard. The guy that's a part of this roster, that's part of this team. We do that. When the clock strikes 0, 0, 0, 0, we might have a good chance of being ahead and winning this game, winning this football game. Plain and simple. Now, let me get into some of these comment sections and we'll get into my prediction. Val in the building. We out here, let's go. Last time we faced them, they got clapped. Can we get the repeat though? We'll see. A lot of credit really needs to go to the Canales for how the pieces are really flowing on the offense. Yes. Nicholas Jackson in the building. It definitely can, 100%. Cali Bucs in the building. Jalen Hurts is quicker to run. Yes, he has been. Jalen Hurts has been quicker to run this year, quicker than Justin Fields. And I don't say that as a threat, like I'm threatened by it. I'm liking that. I want him to run because there ain't nowhere he's going to be able to run. We are very good at being disciplined and keeping somebody in the pocket. Not only that, we got a Levante and a Devin. Please try to run. I hope he continues to take his eyes down the field and be quick to run. That's what we're hoping. Cali Buck says the offensive line doesn't have to be great. Mayfield is a great scrambler. They just need to make an effort. I do not want him scrambling in this game. I do not want Baker to have to do that. In this game, I'd rather Baker either run out of bounds or take off and get as many yards and get down or throw it away. I do not need Baker. Oh, let me move away from him. Let me step to the left, step to the right. Oh, here comes another one. Let me step. Eventually, he's going to get popped. That D-line is going to cause havoc. So it's either you're in the pocket with a good pocket or you're in the pocket and you're out that pocket. One or the other. We cannot allow this O-line to let somebody loose and Baker try to, move around in the pocket. We can't allow that. He has to either hit that sideline, turn up field, or throw the ball away. Because he might make one miss, but by the time he makes one miss, here comes another one. That D-line is not a joke. It's going to be like the Vikings game, just have to keep fighting until the end. I hope it is. I hope it is. Now, let's get to my predictions. Do I be realistic? Or do I rep my squad? What you think, Arthur? What you think I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to rep my squad. Why can't I do both? Why can't I say we're going to win and be realistic at the same time? Huh? You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Come on now. We gonna win. We gonna win. Listen. Rondé Barber and the whole thing. We're gonna announce, put Rondé Barber's numbers in the stadium. Eagles, Bucs. It's just so many things. Not only that, this. Yeah, it's a Buccaneers hat. I just bought this today. I went and I got me some Coronas because I want to relax because it's Friday. And I went in the gas station to get me the Coronas. And I saw this hanging. Now, for some of y'all that don't know, I live in Vegas. I don't never see no Buccaneer stuff anywhere. And I saw this hanging. And not only did I see this hanging, do you know what hat was hanging next to it? A Eagles hat. A Eagles hat was hanging next to it. And this gas station is the gas station right in the corner where I live. I literally go there every day. I go there every day, either in the morning before I go to work to get my energy drink, or like on a Friday like today after work to give me something before I go home. I'm there all the time. I've never seen this hat there. Not only did I see this one, I seen two. There was this one and another Buccaneers hat under it. And right next to this, the reason why I picked this one was because it was right next to the Eagles hat. I said, oh, this is a sign. This is a sign. This is a sign. Listen, if you're here, we got 9 people watching. If you're here, I'm here to tell you, be here Monday night when I go live streaming. Because I'm going crazy. I am going to go crazy. This is a big game for us, guys. And again, this isn't if we lose, everything's falling to the ground, panic time. It ain't that. If we lose this game, then okay, then it's back to let's focus on the division. If we win this game, forget the division. We're not focused on the division no more. If we win this game, I'm not focused on the division no more. That's gonna come to us. We ain't nobody else in the division mess with. I already feel like that right now. But if we win the Eagles, I'm not even worried about the division. Now my eyes are like, okay, wait, you telling me that not only when we win the division and get in the playoffs, you telling me that we got a real shot to do something this year? Because remember, this year's supposed to be a wash. This year, we're just getting our contracts ready for next year, and next year we're gonna push hard, and we coming for real. Like, we coming to make some problems in the playoffs next year. This year, we just getting rid of some contracts. We just want to win the division and just like, okay, good job, we won the division. See if we can ruffle some feathers in the playoffs, and then next year, we see where we at next year. We try to go hard next year. We beat the Eagles on Monday. Our plans change. Our plans go from that to, you know what? Forget ruffling some feathers in the playoffs. Let's try to go back. And you know where I mean when I say let's try to go back. You know what I'm talking about when I say let's try to go back. Why not? Why not? There's only 3 teams in the way. Really. There's only 3 teams. Let's be honest. Eagles, Niners, and the Cowboys. Now, we've been beating the Eagles. Obviously, it's a different Eagle team. We know that. We respect it. But we beat that team. All we looking at is the Niners and the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys had our number last time, but they got lucky. They got lucky. They came at us with some slick stuff. I explained it after the game. They came at us with the Kansas City scheme. They hit us with the Kansas City scheme and game plan. That's how they beat us. Not only that, you cannot convince me that the Cowboys didn't take 2 weeks to prepare for the Bucs. They already knew they were playing us, and they lost their last game. They took 2 weeks to prepare for the Bucs. I know they did. I know they did. But anyways, that don't matter. All we would have to look at is Cowboys and the 49ers. And you know what? I want, and we play the 49ers. I believe we play the 49ers this year. I could be wrong about that, but I believe we play the 49ers without the playoffs. I believe we play the 49ers this year. Am I right or wrong about that, guys? I think we play the 49ers this year. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Actually, I don't know. But anyways, either way, whether we play the 49ers or we play the Rams, I'm interested to see that game now that we have Dave Canellis, and now that we might know a little something more about that scheme and that system that they run over there. So I'm interested to see that too. But yeah, there's just a lot of things, man. A lot of things that I'm like, signs. Can we do it? I think we can. Now, there's 2 things that are in their favor. 2 things that are in their favor that I truly believe makes this mole a hill. Makes it a bigger hill than it should be for us. It's not an even playing field. 1, Carlton Davis is hurt. I believe he is going to be able to play. He did practice today, first time. I believe he is going to be able to play. I am about 70% sure that he's not going to last the whole game. And in will come Zion McCollum, which I am glad that Carlton's going to start, or at least they're going to feel like, oh, Carlton is starting, or he's going to play for them. He's practicing. He's going to play for them. I'm glad, because if he would have never practiced and it wouldn't have looked like Carlton was going to start, they might have been able to game plan for Zion McCollum. Now, again, Zion has been great. I think I've said it many times, I think he's very good in coverage. I said it before when people laughed at me when I said I think Jamel Dean is the rawest corner we have, but Jamel Dean has the highest ceiling out of all the corners, out of Carlton, out of Sean Murphy-Bunting. Right now, he's corner number 3. He's our 3rd best corner, maybe even 4th, but he has the highest ceiling. People laughed at me. Now look at Jamel Dean. Some people think he's our best corner now. He has the longest length. He's the fastest. He's the biggest. He covers. He has the best hands out of him and Carlton. And I will say this again about Zion. Coverage-wise, Zion can be better than all of them. Zion easily has better hands than all of them. Is as fast as Jamel Dean, as long as Jamel Dean. I think Jamel Dean might be a little bit longer, but I think the game can be even slower for Zion. I think Zion can be our best covered corner. Not right now, but when he's done developing, I think he can be. We'll see. But my whole point is I'm not worried about him in coverage. That's not what I'm worried about, him being on the field. What I'm worried about is him being on the field and then Jalen Hurts runs to that side, or they run the football to that side, and now he has to set that edge and make that tackle. That's what I'm worried about. So that's one huge thing that I'm worried about in this game. I was worried about that in the Chicago Bears game. Then they don't got a good coaching staff over there. They probably didn't even know. They didn't even attempt to go to his side. So whatever. Then we might not have to worry about it with the Eagles too. I don't know. That's just something I know about that I'm thinking about. The second, and even more of a problem, or not a problem, but a bigger hill. They are coming off of a Thursday night game. That's like them. They literally had a short bye week. They've been preparing and game planning against us since Thursday, since a week ago. Extra time, it matters. With a good coach, a bad coach, it don't matter how much time. They can't get their team prepared. They can't get their team prepared. But a good coach, it matters. It matters. Extra time. Enough time to have a game plan and a backup game plan. It matters. So this is going to be it's going to be hard. I've seen when a good coach has time to prepare for Todd Bowles' defense. You've seen Todd Bowles with extra time to prepare for Andy Reid's offense, and we go into the Super Bowl and we just everything locked down. Everything's to the T, locked. And then I've seen the Chiefs lose to it. I don't know if they lost to a team or they just played real bad, like they didn't know what they were doing, and then played us the next week, and all of a sudden they countered everything that we had for them. Like they took an extra week. I've seen it. So I know that if a good head coach has more time, they can game plan pretty good against Todd Bowles if that coach is good enough. I don't know if they are, but I am a little worried because I will say this. I think you have to be some type of decent coach. You have to be a good coach to do what you did for Jalen Hurts last year. Jalen Hurts played at an MVP caliber season last year and outplayed Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You can't be a okay coach and turn Jalen Hurts around like that. You have to know what you're doing. Now, was it their head coach? I forgot his name. Or was it their OC that left? Where did he go? Did he go to the Colts? Where did he go? He went somewhere. But supposedly they're doing good now wherever he went. I forgot what it was. I had it. I don't know. But he left somewhere. But who knows? So maybe it doesn't matter that this head coach, maybe it wasn't the head coach, and it doesn't matter this guy's not that good. He doesn't take advantage and be able to, we'll see. We'll see Monday. It's a lot of questions, man. It's a lot of questions. But we'll see. We'll see what happens Monday. But those are the two things that I feel like give the Eagles an extra. That's like we're kind of fighting with one arm because of the Zion situation, if they take advantage of that, and if they take advantage of the mini buy, basically. Kind of like we're fighting. That kind of it is a disadvantage. Again, for a good coach, if that coach that had the mini buy is a good coach, it's definitely a disadvantage for the other team. But if he's an okay coach, he'll know how to take advantage of it. Ain't gonna do nothing. We'll be fine. It don't matter. Luckily, it is a Monday night game, so it gives us a little bit of extra, right? But still, even though it gives us a little bit of extra, still gives them even more a little bit of extra. So either way, it is what it is. But that's pretty much the preview in this game, man. Again, I think we're pretty even. I think our D-line can do just as much damage as their D-line. I have a little bit more faith in their O-line that I have in my O-line. I will say that. But I have more. I mean, I definitely have more faith in our linebackers are miles ahead better than their linebackers. And the middle of the field will be open. And our secondary is better in coverage than their secondary. So they might have the trenches. We have everything else. Running back, they might be obviously better running the ball as well. But will we neutralize that with our run stopping? Because I think our run stopping is going to be way better than their run stopping. So will we neutralize that? We'll see. We should. So I see a tick for tat, man. I see a tick for tat. And to be honest, if you put a gun to my head, honestly, if you put a gun to my head and you're telling me that the trenches are going to go back and forth, right? Our D-line's going to do some good. And, their O-line's going to do some good. My D-line's going to do some good. And it's just, the trenches are going back and forth. and you put a gun to my head and you say, what quarterback's going to play better? I wouldn't be surprised if it was Baker. I would not be surprised if it was Baker, because I see some interceptions for Jalen Hurts. I can't shake this feeling of him getting baited into a throw or a bad throw and some tip balls, and I just see some interceptions for Jalen Hurts. Now, obviously, Baker can throw interceptions as well. I'm not saying, oh, he's not gonna throw no interceptions. I don't know. Again, if Baker plays the way Baker's been playing and is more conservative, is what I'm saying. Throw the throws that are there. Don't force anything. Don't try to create anything. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, run out of bounds, throw it away, or just take the sack. Right? We do that. Let Jalen Hurts shoot himself in the foot. Let him try to take off running and get sacked. Let him try to force the ball somewhere and throw interceptions. And let's go win this game. And that's kind of how I see it. So, with that said, let me give my score predictions. And we've been good with the score predictions. The Minnesota game, I said what? What did I say? 23? I said 23-17. It was 20-17. Who did we play after that? The Bears game, I said 24-10. But I can also see them getting 17. And if they got 17, I would hope that we got 27. And that's what it was, 27-17. This game, I'm going to say, let me think. Hold on. I'm playing everything in my mind. I'm not going to lie. This whole week, I've been like 24, 27. What is it? And now that I'm really thinking about it in my mind, I'm saying I'm going 2014. 2014 Bucs. 2014 Bucs. That's what I'm going. 2014 Bucs. Something in my chest just said 17. Say 17. 2017 Bucs. 2017 Bucs. That's where we're going with. 2017 Bucs. That's where we're going with. It was written. Buck Crazy in the building. All gang in the building. You know what time it is. What's with Vita being in the injury report? I hope he's not dealing with anything bad. We need Vita healthy. I was just looking at the report. I'll tell you what it was. Come on, where is it? The report is... One second, I'm looking. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. The heck is it? I just had it, man. I was just like looking at it, and there was like 4 different times, 4 people like freaking reposting it. Now I can't find it once. Oh, here it is. All right, so Carlton Davis, turf toe, limited practice. Servassier Dennis, hamstring, did not practice. Kalijah Cansey, calf, did not practice. Cody Mayock with the back, he's having back spasms, limited practice. Ryan Neal, ribs and knee, he was full practice today. Vita Vea, pectoral, limited participation. That's not, I don't like that. And Devin White groin, limited participation. Both of those I don't like. Groin for Devin and pectoral for Vita. I remember Gerald McCoy had a pectoral something. Something was wrong with his pectoral muscle, and he did not have a good season after that. So hopefully we still get a bad Vita Vea, or a good Vita Vea, I should say. Man, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. We'll see where we end up, man. Um, I hope he dominates. That way we know we ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I really hope he dominates. I hope if he gets dominated, then we know it's a problem, because we know nobody dominates Vita. Even Quentin Nelson couldn't dominate Vita. So, and we know for dang sure that their center can't. Every time Vita's played that center, has dominated the center. So, we know that they can't stop Vita. So if we see them dominating Vita, we know it's a problem. And groin for Devin, I don't like that for him either. Black Cat Panther podcast in the building. What up, fam? What up, fam? We got the NFC South Roundtable tomorrow at, what time did you say? 11:30 Eastern time. 11:30 Eastern time. 11, 10, 9. So that's 8:30 Pacific time. 11:30 Eastern time. Y'all, we gonna show up. We'll be there, Black Cat. My peoples will show up. We got a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to the Falcons, when it comes to the Panthers. I don't know if we got a Saint. Do we got a Saint fan that's finally going to show up? Because I got some stuff to talk about when it comes to them too. So hopefully we bring them all up. We're all there to talk about our teams, because we definitely got some stuff to talk about and break down. Let's see. Let's get into a video real quick. Listen to Dave Canellis.
What we got? Shoot.
And we're going to end it after that.
Going up against the Eagles wasn't challenging enough in their defense. You're also going up against a defensive coordinator and coach inside that you're familiar with going back to Seattle. What can you tell us about him, and how much more of a chess match does that make it with the game within the game?
Well, good question. So Sean and I got to spend a good amount of time together.
So what they're talking about, I guess their defensive coordinator used to be with him in Seattle. So they're like, well, how much of that is going to be a chess piece, because he kind of knows you kind of know him.
Thoughts about structure of defense and different things like that. He's really sharp. Played against him in 21 in Chicago, came to Seattle, snow game. And he had some cool stuff for us. He had some great adjustments for, every situation. It just seemed like it was tailor-made. It didn't feel like he was just calling, plays out of a hat necessarily, and or just rotating calls. They're very specific, very intentional. So
it's good, Cali Bucs. It's good. It's good because he's seen him be a defensive coordinator, but he's never seen Dave Canellis be an offensive coordinator. He's talking about the adjustments and stuff that he did as a defensive coordinator against them, not him, but them as an offense. Whoever was doing the offensive coordinating with Seattle and them, not Dave Canellis. So Dave Canellis has seen the adjustments and how he game planned against them defensively, but he's never seen Dave Canellis come up with a game plan. So it's kind of good. It's kind of a plus for us.
They have a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. It's only Friday here. It's such a big game. Do you yourself even have to contain yourself knowing you still have a couple of days until this big game?
I don't think of it like that. Honestly, every day is a gift. Every day is a blessing. So I just wake up. I'm excited. I pop up, look at the clock. D&D says 1st and 10, got a new set of downs, and just kind of approach every day like that. And, hopefully bring that to the building. That can be refreshing for guys who might be having a rough day or something like that. So just that kind of perspective, I don't think of the long haul or this is a short week or a long week. What do we need to get done? What's our preparation got to look like? Just as we take as long as we need to make sure we have the call sheet filled long enough to reach the floor.
How much does it help you to now have had 2 full games as a play caller? You can prepare for that for a decade or more, but the actual practice of going through it and figuring out the rhythm and the cadence of it, how much more comfortable are you with that now, 2 weeks in?
Yeah, it was great. So still, we haven't had like a real normal week other than last week, because the week before we had a bunch of time to prepare for what we thought maybe the Vikings were going to do. Really didn't know, and then still surprised us, Then you go to a normal week. So last week was kind of the litmus test, and there was a lot of just conversations with, I have a lot of veteran coaches on our staff, Tom Moore, Goody, Joe, guys who have been around, Skip, Pete. So, just like end of the week, coming to them saying, okay, how could we do this better from a game plan, time management standpoint? What was the communication like? And they gave me great feedback as far as like when to. So really like the scheduling of the week was really challenging, and then the play calling, of course, for me is just getting to know what Mike looks like on game day. For 2 weeks, and Chris, and Rashad and the O-line group, and of course everybody involved. Just kind of feeling what guys actually went on game day, not just plays we've been practicing for camp.
Last week, this team's first against the run.
Yeah.
They're very deep on the front seven. So what kind of a challenge does that bring when you know you want to run it?
Yeah, the challenge is just for me is to maintain the discipline of stick with it. It will work. We've played some great fronts over the years in Seattle, and the games where even if it's a little bit hard early on, you just got to stick with the balance and rhythm of the way you call the plays, trying to be balanced on 1st and 10, second in the different situations. Having the run pass balance is really critical. So then it's really more about the type of runs, that we'll get into as far as the number of, so to speak, because what they would love for you to do, just like the Niners, they'd love for you to do is just like, we just got to drop back and pass it. Well, that's a really good rush front, so just being disciplined to stick with it.
I low-key like how he said, like the Niners. So I don't know if he's already been looking into the Niners or what. I don't know why he mentioned the Niners, but I'm low-key like, okay, I'm glad you mentioned the Niners. Keeping an eye on that team. We looking forward.
Since going on IR, do you foresee more reliance on Sean White, or is this a larger opportunity for Sean Tucker and possibly Keyshawn Vaughn as well?
Yeah, huge opportunity for those guys, right? Just a lot of carries to go around, 60 some odd runs in the first 2 games. So just being able to carry the load. I'm excited for Sneak.
Yep.
Guys really worked his tail off, all camp, and to get this opportunity is huge for him.
Your offense has started really efficient this year. You guys have been really good off 3rd down.
Appreciate it.
Why do you think that is so far? And then, going against the Eagles on Monday night, where do you think you're going to need to do well in order to keep that going?
I don't want to give too much, but just, the success of it is just having simple answers for potentially dangerous looks and fronts and things. And that's what we've had. It's really just trying to be able to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands on a good play, not just get it out of his hands just because.
I love what he said. 2 things. 1, I don't want to give away too much. I'm glad that's in the back of his head. I am so sick and tired of people telling what we're going to do, what we've been working on. Shut up! Stop telling people our plans. I'm glad he said, I don't want to give away too much. That means he's being aware of what he's saying. And then, on top of that, he calms me down by saying, having answers to dangerous looks. I love that. That makes me feel a little bit calm, because that's one of the things I'm worried about. When they do attack us, and they're going to attack us, that's when I'm hoping that Baker says, either this is going to be there, or I'm throwing it away, or I'm running and getting out of there, or whatever. Don't try to make something happen. Now, if you are focused like that, mixed in with an audible or a play that Dave Canellis has gotten ready, to where they've practiced and they said, hey, they love to attack when they're in this formation. So when you see them in this formation, here's the answer to attack them. Because what they're either going to do is they're either going to send the blitz, or they're going to fake it and drop back. And this is the answer to both. You say hike. If you see them drop back, you do this. If you say hike and you see them blitz it, here's your hot read. That's what he's explaining to us. That he has to have simple answers for Baker. So when he goes out there and the next following days, we go on YouTube or on ESPN, and the analysts are breaking down and they're saying, so the Eagles were going to blitz here, and you can see Baker, he sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He notices 6, so he checks to his and he knows where to throw it right away. That's all Dave Canellis. They gave him the answer and said, hey, when you see this, this is what you want to do. When you see this, this is what you want to do. This, and if they do this, you do that. If you don't see that there, throw the play is dead, throw it away, don't try to do nothing. Simple stuff, don't try to do too much. It's either a simple pass there or a simple pass there. Either one is going to hurt them. It's going to at least give us 3-4 yards, either move the chain or put us in, if it's second down, put us in third and manageable. That's all we're trying to do. So that was a great answer.
He's our third down guru. So he's the guy that's kind of putting all those formations together, coming up with simple answers for Baker, making sure we communicate it throughout. He's doing a fantastic job.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
You know, you've always been very positive about Baker.
Yeah.
He's been here the whole offseason. But his numbers, like he's among the top 2, 3 in the NFL right now. I know it's only 2 games.
Yeah.
Is there anything that he's actually doing that's actually wowing you or surprising you?
I feel his experience. I feel that he's seen every defense that you could possibly run at this point in his career. He's seen every blitz. He's seen every pass concept. He's
Yes.
had 9 play callers.
Yes.
You know, so he's got such a wealth of knowledge in the pass game, answers for different things, different pressures. You know, playing in that division when he was in Cleveland for as long as he did, that was a gnarly division defensively. Like, they bring some, I know when we were in Seattle, whenever we would play any team from that division, it was like an all-out, just like, you know, no holds barred, gloves off, defensive pressures and things like that. So he's accustomed to it. He's cool. He regroups, and at the end of the day, he's trusting us. Like, we're not having to prove anything, right? Just complete the pass, you know. And so he did a fantastic job. I think we were 12 of 13 completions on third down last week, which gives you a chance to have success.
He said exactly what I was trying to say earlier when I was trying to give Baker credit and I didn't know how to say it. He said it perfectly. Him performing was nothing. Oh my God, did you see that throw by Baker? None of that happened. It was nothing special. But what you saw was, oh, okay, Baker. You saw that right away. Okay, Baker. The answers is easy. These guys are setting the plays up perfectly for Baker. It's on a silver platter. You don't got to do much, bro. Listen, it's either this or that. Either way, it's going to be wide open here or it's going to be wide open there. It's set on a platter. But it's still up to Baker to see, oh, they're in this defense. Okay, what was the answer to that defense? Got it. That's the part where we're like, Baker saw that. Because it's not just as simple as, okay, the safety's there, this linebacker's here. But okay, so they're in that defense. Okay, it's not as simple as that. It's like he's trying to fool me, but I know I know what he wants to do. They're trying to fool me. That's the part that's impressive. That's the part that we're as Buck fans are seeing is like Baker has the answers to the test. That's not impressive. It's the fact that he knows what the question of the text is. That's what's impressive because they're disguising the question. And Brian Flores is not no slouch. He knows how to disguise his defense. He knows how to put people where you're like, I don't know what they're doing. So that's why it's been impressive for Baker. Not the throws. He hasn't made any impressive throws. He hasn't any hard plays. I was like, oh, I don't know if Kyle Trask can do that. No, Kyle Trask can throw all the throws he threw. He can run all the plays he runs. But I don't know if Kyle Trask could have looked at the defense and say, oh, okay, I know this question. And the answer that Dave Canales was telling me to that question is, boom, okay, hike. I don't know if Kyle can, because he doesn't have the experience of all the different defensive looks, the different ways of disguising a defense. He's been through. That's where the experience comes from. That's where it comes from. Where okay, I've had several years in the NFL. I've seen different type of defenses, different type of defense disguises, all that stuff. And what he was also saying was he's had several offensive coordinators. So because of that, he's been able to. There's a difference of, like, let's say, saying hike under center and getting blitzed, saying hike in shotgun and getting blitzed. There's a difference of being blitzed to the right or being blitzed to the left in certain formations where they might get to you quicker or you bootlegging. So all these different coordinators allows him to, he already knows how that's going to feel once he says hike. He already knows how the defense is going to look. If it's like, okay, he's either going to blitz or he's going to back off. I know what to look at. Hike. Okay, I seen that. Boom. I know where to go. So that's what he's saying. That's where the experience is coming in with Baker. And that's the part that we, the people that know in football, are looking at and like, that's impressive. It's working. This is working. We knew what Mike Evans was going to do. We knew what Chris Godwin was going to do. You know what I'm saying? We had a good feeling that Dave Canales was going to have these plays be ready for Baker. But can Baker run it? That's what I've been saying all training camp. It's looking like he's running it. He's answering the questions that need to be answered. Good for Baker.
Into his ability to avoid sacks and kind of scramble and fight for some extra yards. Because there were some great moments where he was getting past defenders, extending the play, and then the offense was able to get some points out.
I wouldn't say experience. I mean, just watch his college tape. I think that's always been him. So that's kind of a cool thing he brings to the game. So, and we're on the good side of it, you know, and his reactions and getting out of trouble.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier about the whole, they missed the sack on Baker. He slipped out of that. He ran somebody over, stiff arm. That was something we already knew. We seen that in college. Like he just said, check his college tape. We already knew that. That's not, I experienced in the NFL. So now I'm like, no, we knew we were getting that from the start from Baker. That was the first thing we knew we were getting with Baker, if nothing else.
Experience you have around you to support
Yeah.
you as a play caller, but just for you from your perspective,
Yeah.
these instances, is there anything that's been surprising or anything that maybe you didn't expect about being a play caller that's come up?
A lot. Yeah, I can't really, hone out everything. Let me say that right now for me. Everything is new. Situations come up in games.
Let me
It's
go
the
back.
First time I felt that and have to make that decision every week from preseason through the last two games. For me, every week is like this new thing. It's like, okay, what can I a lot. Yeah, I can't. Well, that's kind of a cool thing he brings to the game. So
I had to
we're
hear the
on
question again.
On the good side of it, and his reactions to getting out of trouble.
further? You mentioned all the experience you have around you to support
Yeah.
you as a play caller, but just for you, from your perspective,
Yeah.
these instances, is there anything that's been surprising or anything that maybe you didn't expect about being a play caller that's come up?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. I can't really, hone out everything. Let me say that right now for me, everything is new. Situations come up in games. It's the first time I felt that and have to make that decision every week from preseason through the last 2 games. For me, every week is like this new thing. It's like, okay, what can I take away from this? And a bunch of dudes have been coordinators. Jeff Castle, the quality control, has been a coordinator. So I'll have him look at the call. She's like, does this make sense the way I'm organizing this? Is there a better way? John Van Dam was a coordinator at one point, Joe, Goody, Tom, obviously.
That's
So,
dope.
yeah, just a lot of different cool things. For me, even the ones that I kind of screw up a little bit, like it's still a great learning.
So he's basically like, what are some things that you're learning, or some things that that's new to you that you're kind of like, oh, experiencing for the first time as a play caller? And he's like, everything. So he's basically saying everything he's learning on the fly, from creating a game, well, maybe not creating a game plan, but play calling, to putting the play calls on the sheets, how he organizes it, how he calls the game. Everything is brand new. Everything's learning experience. But he has so much experienced people around him, so he has a lot of people to lean on. So that's good.
From, and I know it seems like Baker is really, through all the reps in the offseason, in tune with Mike and Chris. But like on Sunday, where did some of those big plays come from? Just dial them up, right coverage, right call.
Yeah. Just looking at how did Minnesota play us, what worked for them, probably going to see a little bit of it this week. So just making sure we had answers for it. And then we did. And we had a couple that we just missed to Chris, So really just kind of like, okay, if teams want to play this game, we're going to run the ball for 150 yards, and then we're going to put stress on the shell. So if you want to just make it a cover 2 game, we're going to have answers.
Right.
So that was great, because then Bake took advantage of it. Yes, and we adjusted quicker this week than the week before. It took a couple of drives.
He's
but
got to
then
get used to
honestly,
cover
just
2
like
because it's Mike.
really just how magnificent Mike is
Yes.
on game day. Makes those plays come to life. 2 of them were, it could have been just a completion tackled right there. Could have been an incomplete. He turns them into massive plays. And so just being able to see that, front row seat to that has been fun.
I don't think Canellis knows what he has in Mike. Like again, week 1 versus the Vikings, homeboy that was in the booth had to tell Dave Canellis, like, it's cover 2. It's cover 2. It's cover 2. And he said it, that homeboy yelled at him, yo, it's cover 2. Like, they're playing cover 2. Don't be scared. Whatever your answer is for cover 2, throw it out there. They're playing cover 2. Like, he had to yell it to him. Dave Canellis said it, that they had to yell at him like, hey, it's cover 2. He has to understand this is what the league plays against Mike. It's cover 2 against Mike all the time. Like, everyone stays in cover 2 because Mike could take the top off. You're not leaving Mike one-on-one. Whether he beats your guy clean off or he just out jumps your guy, jump ball your guy. Like, they're going to help out with Mike. It's going to be cover 2 most of the time. And he's starting to realize that. But again, I don't think he understands the weapons he has. I don't think he knows how much the defense leans on Mike. And when the defense doesn't lean on Mike, I don't think he understands how much of a game wrecker Mike can be by himself. And when he understands that, and I'm sure he's doing it, he's understanding now, he's going to see Chris is by himself. Like, we could do damage with Chris, and then we're going to see this offense take another step, and it's going to be nasty.
The offensive
But
line,
he's learning. He said it. I'm learning what Mike looks like on game day.
Fantastic. Yeah, and this goes back to the philosophy of what we do. Not a lot of our plays are taking more than 2.7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So, like yesterday in practice, it's like the rhythms just flows just like that. The decisions are such that the ball should come out even to a check down in less than 3. So they feel more confident and comfortable to be able to set and be aggressive on these defensive linemen, as they trust that Baker's going to make a quick decision, get the ball out, scramble, and do those things. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about what they're doing.
You guys don't always want to give us the names for things, but you've got a new look that's the 4x1, and you had the first down throw to Mike on the right side, but then you had kind of the screen
Yeah.
shot the second time. Is there a name for that? Or
Not really. Just, we have tags for backs to go one way or another, but it's not like a special, its own deal. Maybe it should be though. You got any suggestions? We got a 4x in a bunch. Could start with a B. Bling. That would be a good one, huh? Bling. Bucs. I don't know. Bruce. You got a Bruce package.
Just looking at the Eagles defense, what makes them such a tough challenge to play against?
Yeah, the scheme is really good. The front is fantastic. Couple of veteran players back there in the secondary, who've seen it all. Same thing we talk about Baker. Those guys have seen it all.
Is Bradbury playing?
And then, and just the style of the
Bradbury
whole team.
can be a
and
problem.
What, Coach Sirianni has done there. They play hard. Talked about the Bears last week. They played hard, and so those are the biggest challenges right now that I feel. Good. All right. See y'all.
All right. So that was Dave Canellis. Happened to my. Oh my. I don't know what happened to my soundboard. Let me see. James Bradbury, full participation, so it looks like he's playing. So looks like they'll be pretty healthy. James Bradbury's no joke, man. James Bradbury's no joke. That's pretty much it, man. That's the 3 keys to victory. We broke that team down pretty much. We broke down our team. We broke down the matchups. We went into pretty good details. I'm pretty sure you ain't heard no other Buck coverage like this, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit the like button, share the channel, show some love. Let's keep growing. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. NFC South Roundtable. See you guys there. We out.